Emily Wong. I am originally from New Berlin, Wisconsin, so that's a Milwaukee suburb. So I'm not too far from home by coming to UW-Madison. At the university, I'm double majoring in art history and economics. Art history is why I ended up at this museum. And I'm also getting a certificate in data science. At the museum, I also currently work as a curatorial assistant to the chief curator, but before that I also worked as a print room assistant, which is in the print room that is in this museum. Our other building is the LVM Museum, so there's a bunch of construction on it right now, but we are doing a complete reinstallation of all those exhibitions. So it's been really cool for me because I've been able to help out with some of the curatorial proposals. So all the works that you're gonna see that are getting picked I'm helping just a little bit. Right now, I know that for our permanent galleries, we're looking at like one key piece of work of art. So we want to look at something that we think is a really important piece of art that we want to showcase in the collection, and then kind of like planning the exhibition around that. So it could be just like a thematic thing that we think is interesting about that piece of art. Like we have a big work called Cathedral Garden number 4 that's by Louise Nevelson. It's actually in the gallery right behind me. But that's a really big piece of work that we want to like have as the center of our exhibit, and then kind of just plan everything around that. So what's something that we see? Maybe it's just color. Maybe it's an all black piece, so it's all monochromatic. Maybe we want to have works around it that are monochromatic. It's also a 19th century work, so maybe we want to look at stuff that's also from that same time period. We have a niche, it's like niche 14 and 15, and it's specifically of Japanese prints. So I had helped curate that Japanese niche of like a bunch of like really grotesque depictions of like supernatural, but also like warriors within Japanese prints. They are so cool, and they were like easily my favorites when I was going through and doing inventory. So that was definitely one of my most like memorable experiences here, because it was again like a kind of turning point where it's like, okay, this is like really something that I could see myself doing. That was the first time I'd been really introduced to kind of the academia world of art history. I had no idea that you could just study art and that could be like your job. And I was obsessed with it. It was just such an exciting way to, again, like I realized that I could talk about the things that I liked and like actually get a degree out of it, and then also maybe a career. So I think that that's been a really cool place that I have like a sense of home, I guess. Getting involved and getting like a job at the museum has been like a really great way of me kind of tapping into that art history side again, where I can see that this is like what I want to do. I do want to do something in arts in some way, because I always just get so excited when I talk about it. It's been cool to find a community at the museum where it's people that are excited about the same things that I'm excited for, where I get to go and work and talk to them, and then I also get to hear their insight about what they find interesting about certain pieces in our collection. It's the works of art I don't know anything about that I get to experience for the first time, and that kind of like subjective way of starting again that conversation between like art and just life in general, I think is what makes art so much more interesting than any other topic. That's the purpose of a lot of artists. Like you never find out exactly the why something is created. They might shout out like a bunch of buzzwords that like it's like this is about consumption, this is about labor, but it's also about like what you get out of it. So there's a lot of choice that goes into what we collect. And I think we purposely are collecting works that are meant to drive conversations, especially for young students. Even though it's like everything that I've really known in college, I think that it's been a really great way of me feeling connected to the university in a way that I don't think a lot of students know about. Just because I think that everyone should go to the museum, because it's a really great space. It's really created a sense of comfort for me. And again, a connection to the university in a different way.